It's called I Remember. So this poem is modeled after Thomas Hood's poem, I Remember, I Remember. I remember looking in the mirror, thinking I was not as beautiful as my white classmates. I remember my mom, with her long, straight hair that extended down her back to her buttocks. I remember she enrolled me into Girl Scouts. I remember, even though we never attended a service in our neighborhood, I attended a dance at the Baptist church across the street from our apartment. Across the street from our apartment, sorry. I remember I coveted my sister's Blue Daisy uniform over the dull brown one I wore. I remember being too shy to dance. I remember neighbors calling me light skin as I passed by. I remember love. She taught me to do the WAP. I remember being brownies together, but I no longer remember her face. I remember thinking love is what beauty looks like. I remember her cocoa skin. I remember in 8th grade being embarrassed that I never kissed a boy. I remember the stairwell at the local high school where my class took a science class. I remember my crush kissed me, and I wiped my lips on his shoulder so he wouldn't know I was turned off by his saliva. I remember the next time we kissed, I no longer felt overwhelmed by the moisture.
Progress.
I remember looking in the mirror, wishing I looked as beautiful as Lisa Bonet. I remember my dad used to compare me to her, and I never could understand how someone like me could compare to her beauty. I remember a stranger telling me I was beautiful and would only grow more beautiful with age. I remember my sister always got compliments about her looks. I remember hating the way I looked in my glasses. I remember trying to not wear them in junior high school. I remember needing to put them on in high school. I remember loathing the way I looked when I stared in the mirror. I remember my parents telling my sister how beautiful she looked. I remember my friends telling me how pretty my sisters are. I remember feeling intimidated to talk in crowds. I remember being in the locker room, having to undress and being told they liked my bra. I remember being embarrassed by the size of my breasts. I remember being infatuated, but not being able to speak. I remember him speaking to me. I remember losing my glasses. I remember painting the blurred lines despite my disadvantage. I remember the teacher loved my paintings. I remember my crush speaking to another girl. I remember telling him I liked him. I remember feeling beautiful when he reciprocated my advances. I remember the first time we made love, he wouldn't kiss me. I remember looking in the mirror and staring at my face. I remember not liking who I saw.
Wow.
Nice, nice.